I've got my notebook at the ready.
Mario just scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I went to go tap a button and he went, "Hey you!" and I just smashed the fucking button instead. Guys, your brains are gonna be so full of information. I don't even know where to start with you. You have no idea how much you're gonna learn. Basically, it's kind of awesome.
Hey, you!
Gmod.
Gmod. Especially how to launch the game. You're gonna have to figure that one out for yourself.
Smile.
It's 101, not 100. You need to be able to launch the game yourself before you can attend this class. I'm sorry. Do you have enough credits? Do you have enough credits to be here? Alright, you have to have... Here's the credits you have to have before making it into this class. Before you can attend this class. You have to know how to launch the game. You have to know basic WASD first-person type controls. You have to understand how that works. I think those are pretty much the required learning. That's step 0. Hey, and I mean, you know, it's not WASD everywhere. I mean, you might have an AZERTY keyboard or something else. Figure out how to look down, but how do you look up? Just keep going down. You'll end up near up eventually. Assume you have to also know how to listen. I feel like that's not even... I feel like you have to... You don't even... That's not even a matter of credits. That's like... You can't even show up to the school if you can't do that.
Hey, you!
18 months old today.
What is a minge bag? You see, when people of the female persuasion have these occurrences each month, what it is? It's a bag for their minge. They turn into werewolves, yes. It's fucking minging. Paradise Punch Lemonade. Suck your dad. I haven't thought about that in so long. Thank you for saying that. Minging is fucking minging. Teach you how to use a fizz gun. I can teach you how to use the fizz gun, actually. That'll be on the test. Binge bag like a menstrual cup? Get back to me on that. Who's Gary? He's just some British guy. I don't know why he's British. I've never found that out. But yeah. I'll give it another few minutes and then class will begin. Get your notes, your notebooks ready, get your pencils sharpened. Put your calculators away. You're not allowed to use calculators in this class. Put your phone on silent. If I hear your phone go off or I see you on your phone, I'm gonna...
Moon and Star. Dagover welcomes you, my sweet assistant friend, to this place where destinies want you come unprepared. Never a bar, friend, or stranger come and look upon the heart. I wait for you.
This is still gonna have to apply.
The grand innocence. You get the pulse under, so naive. Shame on you, Moon and Star. I'm Dagover, and I'm a dog. There's no escape, so come to me and bring radar through fire and war where we last met.
Hold on, class. Stand for the national anthem. Anyway, if you're on your phone, I'm going to take it away from you, and I'm going to put it in the ceiling tiles. You'll have to crawl through the drop ceiling to get your phone back. So, don't let me catch you. All right. We'll give it another couple minutes, and then we'll get cracking here. Sit tight. No, you can't have your Game Boy out. If you want to play any games, you're gonna have to wait until lunch. You can go ahead and go into the computer lab. You can put Counter-Strike on all the computers. That'll be fine. But you gotta wait till lunch. You play Gmod? I guess. You can be on cool math games. That's okay. You can be on cool math games and you can open up fantastic contraptions. But that's it. No mo fun zone. No Happy Wheels. No Pop Tropica. No Hasbro Hotel. I know it's Habo. Has been. All right. It's time to learn. It's time to learn. All right. Welcome to Gmod 101. I'm your professor. Mimomo MasterGir. If the class could now open up Gary's mod on their computer, go ahead and launch it in 32-bit mode. If you have to choose between 32 and 64, please launch it in 32-bit mode. Or the one that doesn't say anything about a mode, that also works. Now what you will see here is the main menu. Okay. See down here in the right, you got your game mode selection. We're going to stay on sandbox. Get your language selection. Please select your preferred language. Games. This will dictate what source games you have installed on your computer, the content that gets loaded into Gmod. Go ahead and just enable whatever you have installed. You don't need all of it. You don't have to have all of it, but whatever you have installed, go ahead and have it checked off by 32-bit, because there's shit that doesn't function properly with 64-bit. 64-bit is cool and all, but there's a lot of mods that will actually break. Add-ons will break. Problems. This is if you have some shit that's broken. You will have some shit that's broken. I'm not gonna lie. Generally, like 9 out of 10 times, you can ignore it. How do you check if you're on 64-bit? If you launched the game and it said Gary's Mod 64-bit and you selected that, you're on 64-bit. If you didn't select 64-bit, you're not on 64-bit. All right. Your Steam won't even open? That's your problem. If your computer's broken, use another one. All right. So, I'm gonna really be granular here. I'm gonna skip these first two for now. Add-ons. This is the list of all your add-ons and shit. That really doesn't matter for today. Dupes. This is the list of dupes and shit you'll make eventually. Doesn't matter right now. Same for saves. Demos we're gonna ignore entirely. Options. That's up to your discretion if you want to explore any of that. The quit button I will not be pressing right now because that would be the wrong thing to do. See this thing, ignore it. You've never been in a class where they're like, yeah, here's this, this, and this, but then there's also this. Ignore that. All right. You want to start a new game. Why is Gmod? It just is. You want to start a new game, you're always going to be on Sandbox for the start. I'm going to go ahead and just start it on GM underscore construct right there, okay? Here's your first tip of the day. All right. Your first tip of the day is for me to not block things on the screen with OBS overlays. Hold on. Let me go ahead and just... So here's your first tip, is you see where it says single player here when you're starting a new game? What you want to do is actually not do that.
Hey, you!
Hey Gear, I can't watch right now because I'm not connected to Wi-Fi right now, but thank you for doing this. Gary's Mod actually confuses the hell out of me, so I thank you.
You're welcome. Tip number 1, don't do single player because it actually, for some reason, I'm really not 100% why, it will bust some mods if it doesn't think you're on a server, quote unquote. So what you want to do is go ahead and just hit 2 players and put it on like a local server, which means like LAN. You can do peer-to-peer as well, but that does risk like a friend trying to join you if they want to like fuck around with you. But otherwise, you know, local server's fine. That server name doesn't matter. All of these numbers off to the right, they're the limitations for what you can spawn. So, you know, that's only, what, 1,000 max props, 50 max ragdolls. You know, I got them cranked the fuck up because I already know better than to spawn a fuck ton of things. I'll keep going down this list here. Then we got limit the physics gun. Never necessary. That's a legacy option. No clue why anyone would want that. Give weapons on spawn. Go ahead and let...
Welcome, Moon and Star.
What's your
Take off
favorite
her
area?
welcome you, my sweet assistant
Construct.
friend. To this laser destiny.
Dark room.
Won't you come unprepared?
All right, I gotta let Dagoth do his thing here real quick. Hold on.
The stages on your next incarnation. What a grand innocence. Did you get the pulse under? So naive. Shame on you, Moon and Star. I'm Dagoth, and I'm a dog. There's no escape. So come to me and bring Radar through fire and war where we last met.
Hold on, Dagoth walked into the class late again. He's our class clown. Yeah, this is part of Gmod. You know, it just happens every now and then in the game. Anyway, as I was saying, Go ahead and let yourself give weapons on spawn. That just means so you have all your tools that you would need. Players have God mode. That's up to your discretion. No sense God moding yourself right now because it doesn't. No. It's just you and maybe some NPCs. Who cares? Allow PvP. Also doesn't really matter. It's literally just you. Enable HEV suit. That's only gonna matter if you're playing a campaign map, like here, Half-Life 2, all the Half-Life 2 maps and shit. It's good to have it on those. For just sandbox, doesn't matter. Fuck it. Allow no clip. Keep that on. You want to be able to no clip. That's personally that's required if you're gonna do any sandbox. Enable realistic fall damage. Don't bother. Fucking cares unless you're doing something where that personally matters to you, like you're doing something silly, wacky, funny, haha, whatever, where you want to be able to fall down and die easily. Go ahead. And all these also don't super matter. That is a very underutilized. So, GM construct, local server, 2 players. Also the persistence file, I'll explain that later. Just leave it as 1, that's fine. Start it up. Playing Gmod while watching required? No, you don't have to. You don't have to go along with it. You see up in the top left there where it says something's creating script errors? Again, you can probably just ignore that. Alright. So, what you can see here is whatever the script errors were for me. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Ignore them. If you get something that shows up in here, and it's got like, oh, here's like problem X, and there's a number, and it's like growing exponentially every second, that's an issue. You need to turn that add-on off. Sandbox ever come out? Nobody cares about Sandbox. Next question. Slow down, you have 550 add-ons. No. So, here we are. We're in GM Construct. GM Construct. What you want to do now is, if you are on a regular default WAS or like ASDF keyboard, you should have a W key, which is walk forward. I know I'm getting super basic here. You want to hit the Q button. And not like just tap it. You want to hold it. That'll be your spawn menu. Everything in here that you can spawn. Like, oh damn, look. There's a locker. It'll spawn where you're looking. Okay. This is your tool. This is your fizz gun. What if someone is using a Zerty? Whatever button is next to your walk forward button on the left. Otherwise, you can go into your options and your keyboard, and you see where it says spawn menu? Just set it to whatever button is most comfortable for you. There's a secret phrase. I got that achievement about 7 years ago. I do not remember. Context menu also is a very important button to know. You have to spawn a locker. No, I don't think you need to spawn it to play the game. Anyway. Okay. Q. Spawn menu, alright? You can spawn things with it. And you know what? For my own sake, I'm going to assume you are on a North American ASDF keyboard with all the default controls. So Q is going to be spawn menu. Z is undo. Okay. If you hold C, this is your context menu. It'll let you see whatever tool guns options you have. I'll get into that in a minute. Wrong with the 64-bit mode. 64-bit has some compatibility issues with certain add-ons. 32-bit is compatible with everything. 64-bit is compatible with a bunch. Maybe most, but not everything. Hold Q and click drawing in the top left and then immediately click Minecraftify. You want me to show? Look. You see how it says requires SV cheats to function? I'm not turning cheats on, you fucking cheater. Get out of my class. Anyway. Fucking trying to cheat in my class? Are you for real right now in front of everybody else? Unbelievable. Spawn menu. Back to where we were. Spawn menu. You can undo with Z. Context menu is C, as in cool. I love that button. The context menu will allow you to also access your player model. Go up, hold C, go up, click that button. You have to keep holding C, which is a little bit. Then you can, pick whatever model. You're not going to have everything I have here, mind you. I tried to make it a little bit more clean. Removed of a lot of add-ons for the sake of the tutorial. I still have some stuff in here that I just couldn't move around without causing issues. So if you want to be Breen, you can be Breen. If you want to be this guy, or skeleton, whatever. Right? There you go. Charpel, there you go. You just click it, and then the next time you spawn, that will be your model. Now, this is not required. Here's another tip. Here's another big tip for you. I should get a thing that shows up on the screen. I should have a list on the screen of, tips. Here, hold on. I'm going to do that. All right, hold on. Right up here. Here we go. Here's the tips. Number 1. 2-player local server, not single player. All right. Tip number 2 is... All right, actually, tip number 2 requires a little bit of setup, too. What you want to do is you want to go into your options. And you want to go into keyboard. Wait, is that where it is? Okay, where is this option? Or is it turned on by default? All right, okay. You see the number 1 key on your keyboard? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up above all the letters. The key to the left of the 1, the tilde. Go ahead and hit that, and if this little box opens up, then that's good. That means you have access to the console, right? I want people in the chat that are actually going along with this. I want you to tell me if the console window showed up for you. I can't remember if this is turned on by default or not. Yes? I have soda. You're thirsty? I do have soda, but you can't have any. It opened. You don't. You have it turned on. You hit tilde, you see console. You got console. Okay. You had to hit Alt backspace first. Whenever it gets you that window open, fantastic. Again, I'm sorry if I don't have your locality's exact keys. You figure out which key does what, then you'll still know these instructions. Anyway, have this console window open, okay? You see down here there's a text box. What you want to do is type bind space K, or whichever letter you don't think you're going to press by accident and want to be able to remember, but K is easy because the command you're going to type next is kill. Okay? You want bind K kill. All right? So that you can do this. And that's a good way to make it so that you will respawn whenever whenever you need to. All right? It didn't work? Try again. If it didn't work, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna keep moving. If everybody says, fuck, that didn't work, then that's when I gotta slow down and figure out what happened. Are we influencing self-harm? Because it's required to enhance your next life. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway. That's tip number 2 is bind, K, kill. Okay? I gotta make that so that you can actually fucking see it. That is way too opaque. Whoop, that's a GIF, not whatever. Whoops, hold on. I'm enhancing our experience here. Give me a minute. All right, make that a little bit smaller. Make this a little bit easier to see. That's better. Okay, that's a little bit easier to see. Right? Yeah, that's a little easier to see. Okay. So to review, Q is the spawn menu, C is the context menu. If you make something with the spawn menu, Z is the button to undo it. Now you got that, okay? Any questions so far? What do we got for questions so far? Because I'm doing the absolute most granular basic stuff right now to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Why'd I receive damage? A ladder fell on my head. Let's be on the test. It will. Game crashed after you put a locker? Your computer bad, LOL. What button is game chat? That would be Y. Alright. Well, hold on. I gotta put down my 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper and look at the chat. Hold on. What'd you say? Resolution is 640 by 480. Yeah, you'll want to go ahead and fix that. I'm gonna remove something after you can't. Remove something you can't see without removing what you made after it. Alright, I gotta kind of wrap my head around the wording of that question. Is there any way to remove something you can't see without removing what you made after it? Kind of. There is an add-on you can get that will keep things from. You can enable it so it doesn't undo a specific thing you do, but as in a general sense of like, oh, I'm going like da 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 da, and I'll go like, oh fuck, I didn't want that. I can't just like tap a button and get rid of it. I have to undo. The only alternative is da 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 da. Oh shit, I didn't want that locker. Hold on, close that. What you can do is they've merged, become one. Hold C, okay. This is important. This is really important information here. Hold C. Hover your mouse over the item. You can see it's got a glowing outline. All right. You want to right click. And you want to remove. Okay. And I'll explain the other options that were there later on. You miss anything important? Yes. Anyway. That was the monster under my bed. You didn't know you could right click? Well, there you go. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was checking the chat for questions. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other important questions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're good. So we will move on now. I will say again, this is not going to look the exact same to you on your end. I have some custom stuff in here, but nothing that will be critical at all to what we're doing. So you got these different tabs. These are different classes of object. These are not everything that you can spawn. This is just a default selection. Will we be going over what else the context menu does? We will. I want to start with the spawn menu because this is like the meat and potatoes of what this shit is. You got construction, comic, you know. Ellen. Construction, comic, which these are also like, you know, whatever. These are all custom, except like Portal, which is just if you have the game, you got these, right? But these are also default. These are all a bunch of really old props and shit that came with Gmod. Trying to think. These are all very underutilized props. Nobody ever really uses these. But like, oh, that's something I never explained. No clip. You know, like walking around and jumping and maybe you hit the crouch button and everything. I forgot to explain no clip. The default no clip button is V, as in very fast do I fly through the goddamn sky. See? No clip. Highly useful, highly important. Isn't no clip cheating? Not in Gmod, no. The G in Gmod stands for Gary. So yeah. There's that. But yeah, there's a bunch of underutilized things in here, like there's that. There's the 9/11 building. You got like these giant chess pieces. Anyway, but you also have these basic shapes like this, or this, or maybe some glass, and these big plastic ones that range from a tiny little cube to the mega cube. You know. Please mention how you go slow when you no clip. Oh, that's a good, very good. You get it. You get bonus points. So this is your default no clip speed, right? You can hold shift to go faster. You can hold crouch to go very slow. Okay? Shift to go faster. Control, which is crouch. Crouch, which is control. Goes. How do you do the I want to go back no clip? The what? From the funny? Oh, the like backwards. Okay. So that's literally just turn on no clip and go backwards. That's all it is. That's all that was. I said I want to go back, and I went backwards. Yeah. It just looks silly from a third person perspective. So anyway, I don't have to go over every single thing in here because these are all down to what the individual would like to make. But you have your options to make, you know, vehicles in here and airplanes, and these are not great, and airplane bathroom. You know, trains and roller coasters, all that kind of fun stuff, robotics. That's all to the individual. No sense going over every single one of these props. I'm not going to do that. There's no reason. What I will do is show you down here where it says browse. You can browse your manual add-ons, which I have none because that would have made it harder to determine what's what's normal and what's not. We'd be going over the tool guns option. We will. But anyway, here in the spawn menu, you got add-ons and you got games. Press the little plus. Wow, look at all these games. This will be where you can find every single prop for every single source game that you have added to Gmod. From this funny little button in the menu that I mentioned at the start. So you got Counter-Strike. Well, good golly gosh, look. Now you can access the props for Counter-Strike. You want something from fucking you want some like junk? There you go. There's a dumpster. You want something from some interiors? You know, it's there too. You can also hit props. See the little plus there. You get individual map objects. So now you got like the snowman from CS Office. You see in the bottom right, it's generating icons for everything, every single thing in here. It's so silly. It's gonna slow the game down. It's gonna lag. Just let it do its thing. How do you respawn? Any button. Just press any button on the keyboard. Anyway, you know, you got all your map props and shit. It's cool, whatever. That's missing a texture. But yeah. So, now you know how to get to those. Spray. Spray button is G. That's not important though. Hold C, the dynamite menu is on the right. You can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of this menu on the right. There's always going to be something there, whatever the last tool was that was used. Not sure what fresh Gmod default tool is, but there's always going to be something over there. Now, didn't even go over any of the like weapons and shit that you got. Yeah, you shouldn't. No, there's a default spray, but I think it's just like, it's like nothing. Your weapons and shit. You got default shit like crowbar, gravity gun, but number 1 is also where you will get back to your fizz gun. Crowbar, gravity gun, fizz gun. The fizz gun is primary. That is the most important thing. Then you got your pistol and your and that. And then number 6 is where there's the fun stuff. You got the camera, which if you hold right click, you can zoom in and out by moving the mouse back and forth. You can also rotate it by rotating the mouse. You can press R to reset the camera. Why is 2-player local preferred over single player? Source Engine prefers that you be on a server for some reason. Some add-ons break if you're not on a server. So as long as it thinks you're on a server, things are always going to work perfectly fine. If you're in single player, sometimes things just like don't understand why there's only one person and one slot for one person, and it throws a little hissy fit. It's weird. Left click takes a picture, also takes a screenshot on Steam. Try not to spam it, or you're gonna load your fucking computer up with screenshots. Be going over how to get other people's dupes. We will. One thing at a time, though. How to change the spray? That's in options. Again, not a very important thing. Not going to be discussed at the moment. All right, so that's camera under number 6. Next, you have the tool gun. This is 50% of the game if you're doing sandbox. So we'll go back to the spawn menu here. Over here on the right, you have your list of tools. You can tell because right here it says tools. And these get categorized. You put words on things like in Dark RP. Not by default, no. With add-ons, yeah, sure, whatever, but not by default. You got your constraints. You got your construction. You got your posing, and you got your render. Constraints is things that constrain other things, like put something on an axis. So let's see. Let me get some basic props here. This and this. Axis. And mind you, I'm not an expert on every tool in the game. I can't give you the full ins and outs of every tool. I will just give you as best a rundown as I can really quick because I can't go over every single thing. That's a big ass URL there. So that makes that, you do that, that makes it an axis, okay? What an axis is? Yeah, it's a point of rotation, kids. If you didn't know what an axis was, it's a point of rotation. I didn't explain how to use the fizz gun at all. I'm so sorry. I just realized that. So let me take a step back. Fizz gun. Obviously, left click. You hold it. It does that shit. Right? If you hold something with left click, but then you right click, it will freeze it. If you tap it, or tap R, you'll unfreeze it. That's that. And then scroll wheel up, scroll wheel down. You can bring it back and forth. If you hold R, no, if you hold E, excuse me, if you hold E and move your mouse around, you can rotate it.
Hey, you!
Tom Walker Cube.
the Tom Walker cube. I will show you how to prop surf in a minute. If you hold shift, if you hold E shift or shift E, whichever you prefer, and then rotate, it rotates on a grid. So it'll always be at perfect right angles, okay? That way it'll always be level. So if you're like moving something, you're like, oh damn, I can't get this quite flat. E shift. Oh look, it's perfectly flat. Freeze it. Drop it. E shift. Perfectly level with the ground. You didn't know that? Yeah, there you go. Now you're learning. So, that was that. I'm sorry it took me a minute to remember to actually explain one of the most important things in the game. But axis, I really shouldn't just go over every single tool because like a lot of it is just, you play with it and you'll figure it out. Ball socket. It makes a ball socket. Click it there. Click it there. Every tool kind of explains itself. This one is a little bit weirder. Every tool has an explanation in the top left. You can see up there, create an elastic rope. I swear I'm not drunk. So that means you got two objects, right? Click there. All right, now it wants me to attach to another object right there. I can move that up here. Wait. Hello? Okay, well, yeah, you get the gist. Whatever. Moving on. Hydraulics. This one is one that has keybinds with it, okay? Got two objects here, right? That. And that. Now, if we look over here, hold C. Over here, we got the defaults. You got default key is 0 on your numpad. This is a toggle, so if you hit the button, it will just stay doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not gonna get super granular and explain everything, but if I hit that button, because let me reset all these defaults. Fixed. If it's electric constraint, it will be unable to rotate at the point of connection. Whatever. There you go. Hit that button. Wow, the hydraulics are going. Press it again. Wow. Press it again. Wow. 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 Now you understand. Ooh. Oh. Well, you can see how some things can get a little silly if you don't understand exactly what you're doing. Anyway, motor. Motor is one I can explain a little bit better here. Let's get this prop here. We're going to go ahead and freeze it. Okay. And make it smaller here. There we go. Here's this. I'm going to get my motor. And here's a cool tip. I don't need to write this tip down because it's per tool. Instead of left clicking on this one, an easier thing to do is right click. No, never mind, I lied. This isn't a right click tool. You gotta left click and not listen to what I was saying. And see how it gives you this ghost preview of what it's gonna look like when you actually left click again? click again. There you go. Now it's in place. You want to unfreeze it. See how it moves on. It's moving on that point of contact, huh? Isn't it? But what happens if I press numpad 8 here? Hold on. Okay, it's got too much friction. All right, so I want more torque. I want less friction, and I want to toggle it. I'll do that again. Wow, look at it go. Does it count as a weld? I mean, it's a connection. A weld and a connection are not like one and the same.
Hey, you!
I actually really needed this tutorial, thank you.
The text-to-speech gave you some good enunciation there. It really needed the tutorial. But now, yeah, now, you see, that's how you make it spin. You want to make something spin? There you go. Get yourself a motor. All right. Muscle. This one I've almost never used. I think it's similar to the hydraulics, except it contracts. Yeah, I've never found a use case for a muscle. Pulley. Let me see if I can demonstrate this one correctly. Because I will reiterate. I straight up have not used a lot of these. Just because, like, I either never took the time to learn them, or I've just never needed them. There's a lot of tools, and there's not a ton of reason to use a lot of them. This box here. Pulley. Select an object to begin a pulley constraint. Select a world position for the first anchor point. Select the second anchor point. I'll make another. Select. Oh, I goofed it. Hold on. I goofed it. Hold on. So there. 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 And that should, yep, there you go. Now you got your pulley. See what it's doing? Yeah. That's a pulley for you. Me when you're mom. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up at the next PTO meeting. You're getting detention, by the way. 2 hours after class. Rope. Rope. You all know what rope is. Wow, it is so funny that it didn't default to an actual rope. You ever seen a rope in your life? You know what they do? They do that. It's a fucking constraint. Slider. This is another one where I've never had a very good use case for it. But what you can do is you can do this, then you can do that, and it just slides. Just slides along that. I've never needed to make something slide like that. But if you wanna, you can. Now, weld is probably one of the most, if not the most important tools. You make two objects, right? They don't have to be touching or anything. They don't have to be anywhere near each other. But you can take two objects. I mean, I'm even gonna put it mid-air so you understand even better. Click it, that's the first object. Click it, that's the second object. That point is now connected to that point permanently. They are, for all intents and purposes, used. They are connected. Now, this is where the right-clicking thing comes in handy for you. You can also right-click with this tool. Say, oh, like, oh, I really want to make, like, this corner right here. Connect to this corner right... Well, oh, no, I want to connect it to this corner right here. You can right-click again. And then rotate it with your mouse until it's just right. Right-click again. Well, good golly gosh. Look at that. They have gone infused. Boop. All right, life-changing stuff here. Winch. It's like pulley. Balloons. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah, I do have it. Okay. We put it on the default settings here. Balloons, they do what they say on the tin. This is all construction, meaning these are mostly, like, things that do things. This is a balloon. You know, it's a balloon. It does what a fucking balloon does. What does a balloon do? A balloon floats. Right? That's what it does. And if you give it these super mega fucked up settings, you can turn it into a tool for murder. But you don't need to worry about that. That's that's not necessary. Buttons. Should I explain buttons yet? How will I explain buttons? I know how to explain buttons. Okay, so let me make a motor here real quick. The button here for forward is 8. Remember that. Go ahead and not delete the fucking thing. Okay, so there's my motor, right? So let's get a button. I want to turn this thing on without pressing my keyboard. I want, you know, I'm role playing here, so I want to simulate numpad 8. Fucking turn it off. So I get myself a button here. It says it's bound to numpad 8. Just spawn that. Oh, wait, hold on. And I want it to stay on, so I'll do toggle mode. So I go over. Press it. Oh my gosh. And I use E, by the way, to interact. It's E to interact with objects. In case you didn't know. Press it again. Press it again. There we go. Okay. But now you get it, right? What have you missed? A lot. I can't even, like, try to summarize. So that's buttons. They simulate a button on your keyboard. So if there's anything that you have that's like, oh, like, I got, like, a rocket ship or some shit, and I can launch it by pressing fucking P on my keyboard. But I want to launch it with a button. You go, okay, I got a button here. I want it to launch with P. You know, and then, oh, here's my P button. There it goes, and the rocket gone launched. Simulate the power button on your computer. If you make something complicated enough that your entire computer crashes, yes. But that's a very specific use case. Duplicator. Duplicator. Here, this one's got some meat on its bones. So again, I'm gonna need a couple objects, you know, just doesn't matter. Oh, look at my awesome new invention. I want to save this awesome new invention forever. Take out the duplicator, right click to copy it. If I want to make another one right now, fucking bam. There you go. Awesome inventions everywhere. Okay? But if I want to save it forever, what we're going to do is go ahead and hold C or open the spawn menu, whichever. Hold C, and you see how it says save dupe right there? Save it. It is now saved. So you can also click on this button that says show saved duplications. And it's going to be a pain in the ass. Oh, there we go. You go to your spawn menu. And it's this tab right here. It says dupes. Well, good golly gosh. What is this? I click deploy. It's my awesome invention. What's this? Why, it's another awesome invention. Awesome. So that's the duplicator. Dynamite. Button is numpad plus. It explodes. That's it. Oh, do 500 damage and remove it when it explodes. It's dynamite. Does what it says on the tin. Or you can make it do no damage. And it's just... Don't remove it. No damage. Don't remove it. Now you just have a way to make something explode. Won't hurt anything. Won't break anything. Like, let's see. Here's a table. That table breaks if it takes too much damage. But watch. Nothing. They're Hollywood explosives. Yes, that's how Gmod animations and shit did that back in the day. They would have an explosion that did no damage and no force. So, emitter. Here's another one you've probably seen in a Gmod video. Let's go ahead and get Half-Life 2 characters. Go ahead and get the G-Man here. Pick him up. Rotate him this way. Now, just like that. We're going to go ahead and grab our emitter tool here. Just pick whichever one you prefer. I'm going to go ahead and pick the dirty water one right here. It spawns right there. You press numpad enter. Wow. What about maybe this one? What is this awesome one? I can click a new one, and if I click back on the old one, it will replace the effect. Oh my god, he pooping. Put it on his face. Oh my god, he puking. You know, that's how they did it back in the day. Or you can make it so it, you know, it's not a toggle. It just does it a little bit at a time. And say, let's just
Hey, you!
40 emitters.
Let's see. Here's a weapon. Let's get like this. All right, here's a weapon. Let's say you're doing a little video or something. You got a gun here. You want the gun to emit something, right? You want the bullet shells or something, right? Well, they would go on the side technically. Do that. There you go, right? But now how would one hide it? Okay, I will actually go ahead and skip forward in time here on the list because it's super relevant to this. All the way down here in render. Color tool. You want the color tool. You go, damn, that's neat, but it's a big fucking thing right on my object. And you know, it's obvious that it's making my funny effect. Here's the secret. You open up your color tool here, right? You got like, this is your shades of red or whatever, your shades of your color. You got white and black over here. But this slider right here is the opacity of it. So this is just full on flat red, right? That just makes it straight up red, okay? But if you turn it down, you'll notice like that's half opacity. Oh, it's like a ghost. You can kind of see through it. If you go all the way down, oh shit, I can't see it. But here's an extra tip, and I will even put this in the notes right here that you can't really see because of the tool gun. Here's tip number 3. Color opacity for invisibility set to 1, not 0. Okay? So here's the secret. If you set this to 0, it is absolutely unequivocally gone. The game is not rendering it at all. But you see the number here for the opacity. If you put it at 1, it's effectively the exact same thing. It's literally completely invisible. Look. Yeah, it's nothing. There's nothing there. But because it's 1, the game is still technically trying to render it. So certain tools or objects don't like being 100% invisible. If you do 1, they will be 99% invisible, and it'll work just fine. Like, let's go back up to this again. We're gonna kind of jump around a little bit more. Here's a light, or not a light, a lamp. Okay, I'll make it broad. Make the G for the Gmod, right? So, you know, oh, this light is pretty fun. I like this light, but I can see the lamp here. It's like right in the way. It's obvious. I'm gonna go ahead and make that invisible, right? Oh, what the fuck? It screwed it up. You know, okay, maybe it's like, oh, maybe I'll change that color. I'll hit R to reset it. Okay, well, actually, that one works fine. But sometimes it will break. And putting it on the 1, you know, guarantees that it's always going to work. I'm trying to remember which one it is that just absolutely shits the bed if you... Maybe it was the light. Well, one of them shits the bed. You'd have to trust me. Anyway, it's just good to have the 1 instead of the 0. You do 2 separate emitters with the separate effects? Oh, of course. We'll go back to the emitters. So I'll put the toggle on. I'll have it start on. Here's like that one. Here's, you know, this one. This one. This one. This one. That one kind of sucks. There's not really much to see. You can even have multiple of the same. Like, it doesn't matter. The game doesn't care. So that's emitters. Hoverball. This one is a fun one if you like making funny little vehicles. Go back to plastic. Get ourselves something nice and flat here. This one right here, right? So let me get this straight. Alright. So the hoverball. Pick whichever one you want. It's all just aesthetic. It doesn't really matter. I'll go with the default there. What you can do is, you can see up is numpad 9, down is numpad 3, or I can go ahead and put the toggle on. Have down also be the toggle. The speed and everything. Alt. Okay, numpad 9, whatever. You know, put it on a corner here. Put it on a corner. Where is it going? Okay, I'll leave it like that, I guess. Numpad 9. Whoa, look at that. The ball is hovering. Hoverball. You know, you press that, it goes up and down and up and down. Down. Up and down. And it will try its damnedest to stay within that spot. Like if I drag it, it will stay at that elevation. See? You can undo it, and it'll always try to stay around that elevation. It's not like perfect. It has a little bit of a give to it. That's that. That's the hoverball. Lamp. Pretty obvious. It's a fucking lamp. Got different little effects you can do here. Like if you want like water or a square light, or into that kind of thing. Or that's a rocket launcher, or like, okay, I'm like beefing it. Or your current view, which that's another one. I don't know why you would ever want this, but if you want it, you can do it. Light, again, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's literally just a light. Left click, it'll come down with a rope. Right click, won't have a rope. it creates light. All right. No collide. Another very important tool. Let me get a couple big boxes here. So, look. These boxes, they collide. But I say, no. No collide. I want this to go through that. That's fucking my whole deal up. So I want this to not collide with this, right? Now that I've done that, wow, no collide. And like most things in the game, by the way, you can hit the undo button. It undoes the last thing you did. Oh, wait, what? Weird, they usually... Well, whatever. Ignore that. The game's weird. Physical properties. Oh, wait, I gotta go back to no collide. Whoop. Go back to no collide. Right click. So these are all gonna collide with each other, right? You understand that. But if I right click that, these collide, but this doesn't collide with anything now. Nothing but the world. Right? Nothing. Nothing but the world. Hamburger. The next tool is physical properties. Back to plastic. He's a big old thing, right? This just acts like plastic, right? Like, kind of dinky. Slides a little bit, but not a whole lot. Has a lot of friction with the ground. Let's say I want this to act like super ice. Like mega slippery ice, right? Hit that. You want to enable gravity. You want it to be affected by gravity, right? And now, it is the slipperiest of all ices. It just slips and slides all over the gosh darn place. But, nah, I want it to act like flesh. And now... Now it's a meat cube. Or, metal. Metal. Or super bouncy. This is a fun one. It just bounces a lot. So that's the physical properties. Another one that I feel like is pretty underutilized. Remover. I wonder what the remover does. It removes. It's also got a little function there with the right click. Where, oh, weld these two together. These are my awesome invention. I don't actually want this invention anymore. Right click it. Anything connected to the thing you clicked on, dead, gone, removed. So, 3 props here. These two are welded. That one's not touched at all. I want to get rid of the ones that I welded. Bam, gone. Is there a way to remove? Is there a way only remove that part? Left click. You left click. Something I actually got to go back a little bit, all the way back to weld. I just remembered something. It's a fun little function of the weld. It's not super necessary, but you probably notice this little force limit here. You know how when I was shaking it about, it just was like they were staying permanently welded? If you give it a force limit, it means like, oh. Okay, that's beyond their force limit. Give it a higher force limit. Okay. So I can move them, right? They're staying connected, but... Oh, I broke it. See that? Demonstrate that again. Oh, they're connected. They definitely connect. Oh, I moved it too fast. It broke. That's what the force limit does. That's also useful, and I'll show you what it's used for in a lot of, like, Gmod videos and shit, right? By the way, check this out. I'm going to explain it a little bit more later. I'll go more in depth, but I just need it real quick. Make him a statue. Stand upright like that. Stand right there. Make him a statue. All right. So get that weld. Give him like a big old force limit right there. Hold him to the ground. All right. Now watch this. Yeah, sure. Let's hit him with like an I-beam, right? Ugh. There. So now you can make it so you can knock over your ragdolls. You got 2 30-second ads in a row with 3 seconds of stream in between. That sucks. And I told Twitch to stop fucking showing ads on the stream too, by the way, just to make that clear. And they're still doing it, so fuck them. That's obnoxious. How did I throw that so hard? You know, there's walk forward, which is, you know, that feels apparent. But if you scroll wheel out, you scroll wheel out and then let go at the same time. Whoa. Yeah, you can see how fast the scroll wheel was going. If you have like one of the nice mice where you can like unlock the scroll wheel, that's also useful. It does that too. But yeah. Anyway, where were we? Properties remover. Thruster. Here's another very important one. And I'm on a good page for the thruster. So here, we get this. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We get this. Does this fit into here? I actually don't know. It does. Okay, perfect. So I want to launch this thing like a tiny little rocket. Let me click the prop I want to be my thruster. 8 is forward, 2 is reverse. Mega force right there. Don't toggle it, doesn't matter. Da 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 da. Give it a little bit of smoke. Centered. Okay. Go ahead and just pop that right in there. Press my button that I predetermined there. Look at that. So now you know how that shit works. Or if you want to do some real classics of Gmod, you get your ragdoll. Put it on his like hands or and now you know how they were doing that. You don't want any smoke. You don't want any sounds. That. Hands, feet. Now you know how they were doing that. All right. Wheel. That's another one that's like pretty obvious what it does. You know, you get yourself, let's say a sofa here, right? Wheel there. You see the circle that showed up? If you press E, it changes the direction the wheel turns. Want it to go that direction, right? We want it to go forward. Wheel there. There. And by gosh, you got yourself something awesome. 8 is forward. 5 is reverse. It is not going backwards. There it goes. Yay! My awesome couch. That should not have killed me like that. There's your awesome contraption right there. Posing. All right, here we go. This is more for character stuff, right? Let's get ourselves a G-Man here to be our example. I'm gonna no clip so I can get closer to his face here. But he's not looking too hot. He's just doing whatever. Oh, that's even worse. Alright. So you got the controls over there in the top left, right? But if you wanted to control the couch like a car. Alright, this will be a super fast explanation. If you want to control it, what you'd want to do is front wheels or you know what? Let's save that. Save that thought. We'll bring it back up in a bit. Because that's actually that gets really more in depth than I was ready for. But it's a great question. We'll get back to it. Eye posing. Controls top left, makes it the obvious. If I hit R, resets his eyes. If I hit right click, it lets me make him look in a specific location. Or sorry, that's left click. If I it gives you like a little target. Right? R, reset it. E click. He looks at you. He'll always look at you. Face poser. Hit right click on them. Get your little defaults up here. You can randomize. Now, you got your individual sliders for every little thing here. What you want to do is you just want to play with every little bit, and it'll become more apparent. You can make it higher scale, more intense. So you get faces like that. Right? You got some defaults. You want to go ahead and put those on one. Okay, so I'm thinking these defaults are a little wonky. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But you got your defaults in there. And if you've already got all the shit in there that you're ready to use, left click, you just go up to him and left click. That looks fucking terrible. But it's something to play with. Finger poser. We'll get the G-Man back here. And this one's got a handy little image it'll give you. You, whoops, right click the hand you want to mess with. It gives you a little example here. Move these little sliders around. And it'll move the hand in these positions. Pose this. It's a little hard to really do what you want. It's pretty finicky, I will say. But yeah, that's how you do that. Inflator. Nobody make any jokes or you're in deep, deep trouble. But it does what it says on the tin. Now you'll notice that his eyes are like really tiny. If I can get his eyes face posing, we're gonna combine tools here. Face pose him. Open those open those eyes up. Now if you notice back in the eye poser, size of all eyes. Well, good golly gosh, now his eyes match his head. But it's a global setting. So when I spawn somebody whose head isn't swollen. But like Kleiners, he got like the sleepy eyes. Gonna have like giant pleading eyes, yeah. This is you looking at someone. This is you looking at someone you love. Anyway. That's that. And then you got your camera tool. This is another very useful tool. Left click makes a basic camera. I said the button was 0. And now you can see. What's wrong with my face? Oh, my eyes are fucking going nuts. Not sure what that's about. Anyway. That's the camera for on the basic settings. Right click a tracking camera. So you can do this. It'll always face towards you no matter where you are. And there's a button here that says static camera, right? So it's unmovable. It will always stay in the spot that you just put it. Nothing will make it move. Color, which I explained, is literally just, you know. Oh, I changed his color to that. I changed his color to that. Change his color to that. You know, whatever. It does have some extra stuff here. Which, you know, whatever. But you got like hologram. There's like a hologram, or you want that. Pulse. Like a little flicker. Oh wait, that faded out. Wanted the flicker. Yeah, there you go. You know, all kinds of little things. I'm not gonna go over every single thing in here. No sense in it. Oh yeah, and yeah, you can make multiple cameras. You can't. It's not. You can only have one at a time. You can do. That one's on 0. That one's on 3. Right. So now you got it. Material. Let's get one of those larger cubes back, right? Like this thing. There's that cube. What is happening to my fucking menu over here? I've not had that before. Don't worry about it. You got your different materials here to do different things. It's really just a matter of play with it, see what it does. Yeah, the menu's being silly tonight. Just if you have a prop that is a specific shape that you want, but it doesn't look right. Oh, now I've got like a giant brick cube, right? There you go. Paint. This one's not very useful. I mean, if you want to set up a little scene, like you're doing a little scene and you're like, oh, Eli's been killed. There's his blood. Right? There you go. Now you can do that. Here's another fun tip. It's not something I really need to type down, but R_clear decals gets rid of any of those. Very useful if your screen is covered in like this kind of shit. Like, oh, we've been blowing up a bunch of shit. Clean. Or you can just do this. You know. It's up to you. That's what that does. And then finally we got trails. Click on it. Well, isn't that neat? That's real neat. It makes a little Rail. That one is a little bit aged. But you get it. You get the gist. I said hearts, goddammit. And there you go. Now you understand. That's the tools. That's the basic tool set. Utilities, this is not something I really need to cover. It's just, you want to clean up everything. Admin is the preferred one because it's guaranteed to clean up and reset the entire map. You know, you can explore that on your own time. Doesn't need too much explanation. These tabs up here, I'll go ahead and explain. I never explained these because they weren't super relevant. But if you need to make new weapons, you know, or you want more ammo, you got these up here, right? If you want to spawn them for somebody else or spawn a whole bunch, you can right-click, spawn using tool gun, and now, you know, you got a whole bunch. Cool. So there you go. This will also be where your add-on weapons are, where your other game-type weapons are. I have Half-Life Source installed, so I get to do this. And this is also where you'll find if you need to give yourself the camera, or the tool gun, or the physics gun for whatever reason. You can get them in there. You can give yourself fists so you can punch. You know, or the manhat gun. Makes manhack. And right click makes roller mines. This one only works if you have Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Does that. You know, whatever. Entities. This one is... You don't want to screw these too much. You got fog, sky, and sun. The sun is pretty obvious there. It moves the sun. Right? It moves where the sun is in the sky. You want to take a picture and you want the sun to be in a specific spot? Bam. Sun is now back there behind that building. Okay? And then you get rid of it. Stays there. And each one of them, if you hold C and right click on them, they have an edit properties section. You can change things like how big the sun is. Big sun, little sun, no sun. Oh, how blinded you are by the sun. Color and everything. This, hold C, right click, edit properties. Change the sky so that the sky is fucking black, bright blue, red, you know, whatever. You can change all kinds of shit in here. Also has the sun size, apparently. But you can undo that one, and it'll reset everything. This one is fog. Edit the properties on this. And it'll change where the fog is rendering. It's a very finicky number here, so probably like do that and then like 5. Now you got like a very thick, dense fog, right? That's how you would do that. You can change the color of the fog and everything, blah, blah, blah. Fun and games. You got the balls. You're gonna eat them and they heal you. They just bounce. They bounce and they heal you. Want a gray one? I'm not getting a gray one. Half-Life 2, this is a bunch of useful entities from Half-Life 2. So you got your ammo. You got these mines. You know, you get your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got these mines. You got these mines. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your health chargers. You got your ammo. You got your heal which you can place wherever you so choose. They are kind of finicky, I will say. Yeah. But, you know, they work. Like the game. Same with the health packs. Helicopter grenades. But close. This is from Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Does that. Close up Striders, blah, 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 blah. You know, if you want to spawn HEV suit. Go. Can you color them? The balls? You know, I don't know. Nope. Can't color them. But yeah, things from Half-Life 2. As well as if you got Half-Life Source installed, you get the ammo in there. If you got Portal installed, you can spawn these fuckers, which do nothing. You don't get a portal gun, by the way, before anyone even asks. If you have Portal installed, that doesn't give you a portal gun. Can you change the weather to make it rain? I don't believe with the default tool set. I know you can with mods, or with other add-ons, but not with the default tools. Pick them up with a grav gun. Oh yeah, there they go.
Who are you?
Anyway, NPCs, again, pretty self-explanatory. Father Grigori is under animals as a joke from the Gary. Okay, that's not the gun he's supposed to start with. You can change the weapons and stuff they start with down here. Give him default. He starts with his shotgun. Settle down. Got your birds and stuff. There you go. Combine, you got these things. These things. These things. These things. Self-explanatory, Half-Life Source stuff.
Yes, let's go.
You know, it is what it says on the tin.
Who's there?
So yeah. Vehicles. The defaults are a bunch of chairs. Here's the next tip. You see how slow that is? Do not use cars 1 through 3. They are fucking terrible. I don't know why they're still in the game. They are worthless. They are useless. They suck. Like, look at this shit. No, there's literally no point to them. Airboat seat is right there. Bam, you're in the seat.
Hey, you!
I'm late but really appreciate this stream because I've never really figured out Gmod.
That's awesome. You are learning so much now. Jalopy seat. That's a car seat. Fast. Jeep seat. Car seat. Fast. Don't fucking use these. Half-Life 2, you get your airboat. Jalopy from episode 2. Jeep. The default Jeep from Half-Life 2. And I believe, if I remember correctly, if you hold C, right-click it, you can put the cannon on it, but I don't know if it actually does anything. No, it doesn't. That's it. You have to go out of your way to get the Jeep with a gun that actually works. Anyway, pod. This is another useful vehicle to have. It's the only one. Can really finicky to get into it. If you're in a vehicle, you press control, you can see third person. It's the only one that makes it look like you're lying down. So that's how you can make it look like someone's lying down. Look, granted, it's a really stilted way to lie down, but, you know, it works. Post-process, this is something that's very specific use case. Most people will never have to use this tab at all. It just lets you do shit like this, so you get like your depth of field. Makes me feel like I need glasses. But I mean, you click on them and you get to change like the settings and stuff, right? Like super depth of field, which is like, this one's really intensive. You don't want to fuck with that. Frame blend, this one will make you sick. And it also makes the game run like shit. Motion blur, another one that'll make you sick. Put on your 3D pants now. Overlays, again, pretty self-explanatory. They just overlay thing on your screen. Shaders, you can modify the way the color looks. You can add extra bloom. You can do the Toy Town effect, which is like if you have a camera, I believe, and you make a, I don't know, there's like a head crab. Go into Toy Town. You can make it like look bigger than it is in certain situations. It's you know, it's whatever. Not super useful for the average person. That's gonna hurt your eyes. That's gonna hurt your eyes. Dupes, we already explained. Saves are kind of wonky and finicky and not very good. But I don't even know what the save is. I guess I could try to load it. But no, I'm not gonna bother. But it's literally, it's just a save. Saves are bad. Don't bother with them. Don't even think about them. It doesn't matter. They're pretty fucking useless. And if you do try to use it and you go, hey, I actually do like these, for you. I don't. Up here, I just thought about it. I should explain this. I mean, this is a lot of like, oh, I want to hide my HUD. No HUD anymore. Put that back on. Or I want my NPCs to ignore me when I spawn them. There you go. Keep in mind, a lot of this is like you have to either 1, be an admin, or 2, be on your own, your own game by yourself. Because these are admin commands. Get your server settings and shit in here. You can fuck with. Play with them on your own time. Figure them out. So someone was like, "Hey, I want to make a car that I can control." Okay, let's do that. Let's make a car that we can control. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. Now this, I will say, there's no one way you do it. There's not like you do it this way or you don't do it at all. There's many ways you can do this. The way I always learned when I was learning Gmod, get yourself some wheels, right? Put them like down there in the corners. Right? Get them down in the corners. Money's on my Chevrolet. Right here. Right? So there you go. You got that, right? And forward is... Okay, so now I can go forward, right? But you're like, yeah, I can go forward and back. That's real nice and all, but... Actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to increase the torque there. I'm going to turn off the toggle. I'll click... Oh. And I'll go ahead and just reapply these tires. Stop, please. Apply these tires here. Once I'm done with this, by the way, I will go ahead and take questions from the chat again. Okay, so Yep, okay, you can go forward. That's awesome. Come back to me. So now, if I want to go left or right, here's how I always did it. Let me freeze this real quick. I will simply add a way of adding force. This button is left. This button is right. I want to be able to rotate it. So now I have a thruster over here. It's pushing that way. I have a thruster over here. It's pushing that way, which means it rotates it that way, right? So let me also add a place for me to sit. All right. Pop that on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just pop it on. Go ahead and weld it. Go ahead and do that without a stupid fucking force constraint. Yep, see, that's you gotta be careful about that force constraint. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and sit in my seat. Now I can go forward and left. There you go. Not the most perfect vehicle in the world. It's a little wiggly and jiggly, like you said. But, you know, it works. For a tutorial car, it works. Yeah, that's way easier than using a motor. If all you need is a force that rotates your vehicle, simply have a force that rotates your vehicle. So yeah. Any questions in the chat? Anything in particular that you did not hear that you're like, okay, I need to know how I can do this? Go ahead and type out so I have a chance to drink. How do you add music to something like DJ Khaled? That is with WireMod, and I am not gonna even fucking touch WireMod. How do you find something you've made invisible? See, there is no easy solution for that. If you want to find something you've made invisible, you got to reach around like you're in a fucking dark room. Example. Here's this, right? Make that invisible. Oh, fuck. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here's an easy way to find it. Either hold C, kind of move your mouse around. Oh, there it is. And hold C. Oh, there it is. Or just, you know, hope that you hit it. But this is the easiest way you can do it. Because even if it's invisible, holding C and hovering will always give you this. What keys am I pressing to unfreeze everything at once? Ah, see, I don't think I did explain that. Let me freeze a bunch of random things. Like, none of these are connected, right? You understand. None of these aren't welded or anything. They're just frozen. Double tap R. And it will unfreeze everything that you have frozen. And here, let me do this too. I'll show you this. Freeze all of these. It'll affect the constrained things too. Like, tap 1, it'll unfreeze everything constrained. But look away, double tap, unfroze. Does tapping R unfreeze everything on screen or only last frozen thing? Whoop, let me show you. Freeze that, not looking. Nothing. Tapping R does nothing unless you're looking at it. Then it does it. But if you're not looking and double tap, it'll still work. Double tapping R is the universal unfreeze. But if you want to unfreeze a specific thing, you got to look at it. Tap R. There you go. You mentioned how to mount other. I explained how to mount the games. That was like one of the first things I said. So much easier than just fizz gunning it to unfreeze. Yeah, fizz gunning to unfreeze things is like, yeah, like it works. Or you can just. In the menus, the spawn. All right. So you know something. All right. Actually, any more questions? I'll keep going. Any more questions? I don't want to just answer the one and then move on. No, I mean, can you make fireworks? Kind of. How does one make dupes like moving pillar bears? I assume you meant polar bears. The polar bear is either wire mod or pack. It's one or the other. I can't remember. It's a very in-depth thing, and again, I really won't be touching that. Is drive useful at all in the context menu? It depends on what you need it for. I'd say on a general basis, not really, no. A quick way to make your mods have the same friends. No. You have anything to say about the rumors that G-Man is short for Gary's man? I mean, the news will come out. I'll do a future stream about quality of life add-ons and such. I could totally do that, yeah. If there's enough demand for it, I can do that. Meant friends have the same mods, yes. A Steam Workshop collection. If you open the Steam Workshop, there'll be a button that says like add to collection. You can make a collection of like add-ons that you're using. Send them that collection. They can subscribe to everything in there, and then they have all the same mods as you. But yes. All right. If that's all the questions for now, I'll go ahead and explain some of the C menu stuff real quick. So, holding C, right click. You got make persistent. You may or may not have this. I think this might actually be one you have to turn on. If you don't have it, no big deal, whatever. But if you have it, make persistent will do this. You make persistent. It is added to a file in Gmod settings. It will say every time you load this map, this object has to be here. And because this has to always be here, it means it's now you can't touch it. You're not allowed to interact with it anymore. Like, it's still a physical object. You know, it still does that kind of shit. You know, I can shoot it, whatever. But it is no longer affected by the fizz gun. As far as the game is concerned, it's just a part of the map. And that is a very, 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 very useful thing to do. Is it different from making a save? Yes. Because it's not making... You're not, like, saving... Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make your house with it, that go right ahead. It just means that that house will be there every single time you reload the map. But it's useful for... It's like, okay, let's see. I'm doing my awesome new YouTube series. But my awesome new YouTube series means, like, I have to block off part of this doorway or something with, like... I want, like, a wall here for this scene, right? Okay, this scene, there's a wall here. Cool. But I don't want to accidentally touch this wall when I'm, like, if I'm moving props around for other things. Make it persistent. There. So now, okay, I want to add another thing to this wall. Like, okay, I'm putting a thing on the wall here as a sign. Now I'm not afraid of, like, oh, fuck, I moved the wall by mistake. Oh, shit. It just acts like a wall. It's not, you're not gonna touch it by accident. If I don't use saves, how do I save and reload projects? By using a dupe? Yes. And no. What I use is an add-on called Advanced Duplicator. That is a very good quality of life add-on to have. It's one of those things where it might as well be a default to get it. But I'm going over just like, you just installed Gmod, this is all you have type shit. So, thank you for calling me the explosive device. Yeah, Advanced Duplicator, mad useful. Always gotta have it around. The default duplicator has gotten better over time, but it is not astoundingly great. But yeah, see, there you go. Now I'm not worried about touching that wall. Be able to make a train that runs on a track with base Gmod. Yes, actually, you could. This isn't the flattest place to work with.
Prime time.
Thank you. But you see here where it says builder? See here where it says rails and tracks? Train tracks right there, baby. You can get yourself a long little rail there. For my own sake, make persistent so I don't touch it. How does one import materials to use on objects? Importing an image to use as a material on objects is also another add-on. And I am drawing a blank on what that add-on is called. But there's an add-on for it. You can go find it on the workshop. But yeah, as for the train, like, here's your rails, or here's these other types of rails. And this go. We just do what you got to do to connect it to an actual train, but there you go. Would that be a ball socket? Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I'm thinking about it. Ouch. Here's it. Here. Oh my god, that's the tiniest fucking train. I forgot that was so small. Let me just get like this. Okay. Freeze that there. All right. C menu. Remember I was talking about the C menu? All right. So let's just hang this over here. Whatever. Not super concerned. But let's say I fucking... This is almost definitely not going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway. Connect this to this. All right, and let's say I don't want this ever to fall over. It has to be upright at all times. C menu, Alt C, right click, keep upright. And the game will now do its damnedest to keep that upright. Heh, yeah, that ball socket did not do what I wanted it to do. But you can see, even with how fucked up the physics are, you know, it wants to stay upright. See? I can't rotate it. It will always try to stay upright. And upright isn't like a predefined direction. It's... If I had it like at a weird angle like this, and it's like, this is what I define as upright. Keep upright. Okay, well, I guess it's not perfect, but you know what I mean. It will always...
Welcome, Moon and Star. Dagger, welcome you, my sweet assistant friend, to this place where destinies want you come unprepared. Never a bar, friend, or traitor, come and look upon the heart. I wait for you up the stages on your next incarnation. What a grand innocence. You get the pulse under, so naive. Shame on you, Moon and Star. I'm Dagger, and I'm a dog. There's no escape, so come to me and bring Radar through fire and war where we last met.
Okay, see, I knew that was going to come up sooner or later. I will explain how to bust a move here in a sec. Because I do have some C menu stuff I have to explain still. Let me spawn a thing. We did make persistent. We did keep upright. Ignite is obvious. Oh my god, you set it on fire. And you can extinguish it. Remove, obvious, removes it. Now drive. This is drive. You basically become the object with no clip. This thing can fucking cause problems. And by the way, you can't like turn off no clip. You're just always no clipping. I've not got a lot of utility for it other than like maybe some little pranks or something where you float up to a person. But in terms of like real usability, not a ton. Next is disable collisions. It's literally just no collide, but you don't have to bust the tool out to enable it. It's just that global no collide where it won't collide with any objects anymore. Actually quite useful. Here's a fun one. Let me bust out Heavy Team Fortress. Oh yeah, I forgot the ragdolls have more options. I'll go over this one anyway. Gravity? Screw gravity! That's what the gravity thing does. Alright, since I already have him out, let me go over the ragdoll options. Body groups. Not on every model, but it is an option on a lot of player models or character models or type like that. You can see it just changes like hands to certain special groups thing. Skin, same thing. You can get blue team, red Uber, blue Uber, red zombie, blue zombie, red Uber zombie, blue zombie. That's how you will change those skins and shit. You played Gmod for 10 years and never knew you could do that? Wow. But yeah, and then make statue, which I showed already. It's just freezes that. Fun to use in combination with gravity. Or you can like turn off the statue again. Then statue again on gravity. Get a fun little pose there for free. So I think that's the vast majority of things. I can go over some of the NPC stuff too real quick. Hold on. Like Rebel.
Sorry.
It's okay. Right click them, you get some extra stuff. You can make them big, make them small. You can edit his bones.
Should we be doing something?
No. You can edit his bones if you have that option on. And he'll just
Pardon me.
Yeah, he'll just be like that now. You can do the face posing on the NPCs as well. You can do the face posing on them, but if they talk at all, like if they're an NPC that's supposed to talk, their face is broken. The moment you use this, their face is broken. They won't speak. So I think that's the bulk of it. If there's any questions, I can go over any small intricacies. Anything that you think I missed or you had an idea that you'd like any input on how to do, go ahead and throw something out there and I'll take a look. Oh, the dancing. You're right. You're right. My favorite map, favorite default map, Construct. Oh, and prop surf. Prop surf I can do super fast. You make a prop. Oh. Put it on the floor, and on top of it, grab it, gently pull up. Gently. And you can start to walk a little bit. Keep pulling. Walk a little bit more. Pulling up makes you go up. And there you go. And now the admin has banned you. Get confused by all the joint tools when you try to use them. I went over the joint tools, but I'll be real with you. They are very confusing, and I'm not even very good with them. So, I was able to give a very basic overview of what they do, but in terms of like proper utility for them, I'm honestly pretty shit with all the joint tools. The axis is pretty simple, but the ball socket I'm not very good with. I've never found a good utility for the muscle tool or the slider. How about how to surf? That one I can't really give you a very good overview on. Because that has some intricacies that even I'm not, like, super great with. I'm okay at surfing, but I'm not great. Alright. Dancing. You make a hoverball contraption move forward and to the side and such. You would make a hoverball contraption, and then if you remember how I rotated the car sofa from before, what you want to do is you want to set up some thrusters. So you got one that's for forward and back, and then you get a couple for rotation. Right? So you want, like, let me see. Corey, settle down. He hears me eating nuts. So you want, like, That's not a fucking... There we go. Alright, so you want to go forward and back. So what you'd want is a thruster. So 8 being forward, 2 being back. Call this the back. Here, I'm going to put a bigger thruster so it's more obvious. That's the back, so now that'll be forward and back. I'm going to do this too so I know it's working. Okay. Forward, back. So now you want to go left. You want to go right. So you want to go in the very, very, very corner. Very, 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 very corner. Left. You got to picture how this would be rotating like it's in a blender. So left. Right. Left. Whoa, Jesus. Okay. Left. Right. And forward. But you get the gist. What'd you say? Hold on. What's the purpose of Gary's mod? You just bought it? It's just a little playground. Gmod is just a little playground. Sandbox isn't the only thing there is. There are community-made game modes like TTT, which is basically proto Among Us for people who know that, which is easy to compare to. There is, what else is there like built in? Dark RP, which is just roleplay. If you like to roleplay, there's a billion servers for roleplaying. And I mean, You know, there's just a million different community game modes. Let me see. Dancing. Let me finally get to dancing. Hit the tilde key again. You got to open up that console window again. So what you want is to type. If you want to know how this works first, is act, and then dance, and then you do this dance. You want to bind it to a button, you do bind, and then whatever you do, and this makes it easier, by the way. It makes it cleaner, guaranteed to work every time. Put it in quotes, bind, I don't know, O, and then act, dance. It has to be, the act, dance part has to be in quotes, by the way. Act, dance. Okay? And then when you press that button, there you go. There's other things like act, agree, makes you give a thumbs up. There's act, robot, makes you do the robot. What else is there? Act, zombie, which makes you do this. You know, there's a few things. Yeah, act, disagree, to be like, no, you're in an admin sit. Yeah, so that's how you do that. Now, since I'm already here, while you guys are thinking, what's an admin sit? When an admin sits you down, scolds you, and then you get banned because admins are shitheads. Right. Anyway, while you guys are thinking of things that you want me to explain, I'll give you a little bit of a map tour. Here's the sexy dance. The act sexy, what is it? Hold on. Oh no, it's act muscle. Act muscle. There it is. Okay. So, give a little map tour while you're thinking of things. Here's this room. You know, maybe it gives you some ideas of things you want to do. This room. Spawning explosive pumpkins on people's heads. That was in TF2. Not, Gmod. This place. Got multiple floors that you can go in and do things. You got the water over here. Go down in the water. Want to make boats. There's this big empty building here with a roof. What is Nextbot? Alright, Nextbot was an AI system that Gary had made, and for a very long time was pretty much not utilized by anybody. It's just a custom NPC system that was built. This is an example.
I guess you should go with Alex.
That's it. It's just a custom NPC base. But you've probably seen on YouTube or TikTok or on streams and shit where people just have like a PNG that chases and kills you. That's just a PNG that uses this AI base to chase and kill you. That's what it is. Nextbots were Valve made. You know what? You actually might be right. I just really remember Gary being like, hey, look at these sick-ass new AI base, whatever. Yeah. Oh, Nextbots were left. That makes sense for Nextbots being for... Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Basically, there's a difference that doesn't really matter to the average person, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, map. So, let me show you the cool rooms here. You go down here. Go to the right. You got this room. You know what's cool about this room? You can color this room. This is the green screen room. You ever do anything green screen? You're here. Well, probably. But that's what this room is. Or if you're like, damn, I don't want bright colors in my face, you just make it invisible. And right down here, you have the mirror room. Take a guess at why it's called that. And there's this little spot down here. Doesn't really exist for any real purpose. It's just there, whatever. Go back upstairs. There's a little spot up here you can get to. Again, doesn't have much purpose. Here's the dark room. This is a classic room. All the way at the back of the dark room, you have these stairs, leads back outside. And now for the piece of the resistance is this. See that? Goodness gracious, it's a secret room. There you go. Yep. Little hidden room. Never knew? Yep. A lot of people who don't. I mean, you know, clip down, you can see it right there. In older versions of Gmod, it was, or in older versions of Construct, rather, it was actually in here. Moved it under there instead. So there's your basics. I'll say once more, are there any questions that somebody needs explained, or they feel like I kind of glossed over and they need a little bit deeper explanation? When's the test? Next semester. How do you reload/load new maps during gameplay? How do you download other people's dupes? Okay, that's actually two very good ones. First, I'll do the dupes because that's very quick. Open up your duplicator, over to this dupes tab, and then you come down to like currently popular or top rated or whatever the fuck. Or like if you're subscribed to something, you come in here, go, okay, I want to spawn this. Click deploy. And there you go. Oh, easy, Mokujin. Will there be more Academy streams? I can do another one in the future. He's fine. He's right there. He's an actor.
Hope you're having a fantastic day today.
I'm doing okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if people like really want me to explain like some more of the like quality of life add-ons that are practically like required on the workshop, I can go over some of those. Granted, I can't get every single one because everyone's got their own opinion on what's like required essentially, but I can go over some of my personally preferred ones that are very good for just quality of your life. Anyway, maps. All right, you're hosting this shit yourself, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna change my map. Open up your console. Change level. Base, and then, you know, if you know that you're probably gonna want to know the map name, but like Flatgrass. Let's go to Flatgrass. There you go. And now we are on Flatgrass. There you go. Flatgrass secret room. Oh, Bloom. But yeah. I will not basically ever go over pack or wire mod because I have very rudimentary knowledge of pack and I have virtually no knowledge of wire mod. So. But things like advanced duplicator or like a weight tool or, you know, just a lot of these things that are like very good for quality of your life but not default in Gmod, I can go over them. Like there's a camera tool, the RT camera, that's no longer default in Gmod for whatever fucking reason. Incredibly useful tool. We use it all the time whenever we're doing videos in Gmod. Super useful tool. But yeah. One more call for questions. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms. I have a public collection somewhere of the funny mods we use. Kind of. There's a workshop collection of everything that we used in HLVR that I have out there. You can get stuff out of that if you'd like. But we don't really have a collection for like just a general public, here's all the fun things we like type collection. No. Anything with Lua, I got no fucking clue. I got no fucking clue when it comes to anything Lua. Ever see the Breaking Bad mods? Probably not. What do I like making in Gmod? Honestly, at this point, I mean, I used to be the kind of guy that liked to make like cool vehicles. But I'm at the point where I don't really go out of my way to make anything in particular anymore. But a cool vehicle is still fun to make. What do I got in my dupes? I got anything fun I can show in my dupes? I have the stretcher from Breaking Bad. Bad finicky. I have whatever this is. I downloaded this. I didn't make this. Like whatever buttons I'm supposed to press are not like doing. I got this. I got this that I stole from Lauren. I got the oldest dupe I still have available, which was my interpretation of a War of the Servers pod. In lieu of having the UFO model. Ah! But yeah. The ship? You like ships? Oh. The game doesn't like you unfreezing 154 physics objects all at once, by the way. Oh yeah, goof. Going. Okay, bye. But yeah. Anything else? Anything else? What if the dupe is invisible when you load it, or is the error text? You're fucked. It means you probably don't have that model or material that it wants. Either go find that model and download it, or you're fucked. But I learned all this stuff. A lot of free time in my childhood. I have 1,907 hours in Gary's mod. Not counting the time that wasn't counted when I had a pirated copy on my computer before I was allowed internet access in my bedroom. And not counting the copy of Gmod 9 I used to play with. So I would say it's probably closer to 2,500, realistically. Two-player multiplayer, yeah. I'll go ahead and reiterate that. Some add-ons freak out if you're in single player and they expect you to be in a server. So if you just play in a two-player like LAN server for yourself, everything will work every time, guaranteed. Somebody asked earlier about fireworks. I can show you the closest thing you can get to fireworks. I have a dupe of it? Yeah, kind of. Okay, well, that didn't quite work. That one's broken. Let me do a faster version here. You get this. Keep upright. Get a thruster. Pop that bitch under there. Right. Freeze it again. Where's comic props? Where's like a soda can? That's a gnome. Oh, I know there's a soda can right in my face and I'm just not seeing it. There it is. I see it. Give it a trail. That, I guess. Duplicate that. Weld it. Weld them all over. Fucking whatever. All right, and then a little bit of dynamite. Where's the dynamite? Right there. Doesn't have to be a lot of damage. Doesn't really make a difference. Pop that bitch right there. Make sure it's actually welded. Everything's unfrozen. What's the key to explode? What did I have it set to? Plus? Okay. Ooh. Ah, there's your fireworks. So now you know. And now you know. All right, I think that probably covers, like, everything, I think. Everything I can think of.
It appears the containment system has completely failed. With my brains and your brawn, we'll make an excellent team.
So yeah. The way to use TV screens, if you have the RT camera installed, there is an RT TV that comes with the game by default, right there. And I can't show you what it looks like because I don't have it turned on right now. Whoop. Nope. Right there. Yeah, and I can't, like, dynamically load it, unfortunately. Any way to put a video like that as a texture on another object? No. Kind of. You need 64-bit or some early access version. See, that starts to get into some other shit. So, alright. If you want to watch a video in Gmod, the preferred way is with oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on its fucking name. What the fuck is that add-on's name? PlayX is my preferred way of doing it. The Google Drive support is good to have for it as well. If you want to be able to use that, you gotta change your game over in Steam to the x86-64 branch, which changes some background shit so it can load a proper encoder, blah, 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 blah. You know, it lets you watch your videos. What you can do is you load up PlayX, you have it project the video, you point the RT camera at the video, the RT camera creates or always projects to an RT texture. You go into the material, you click on render target, which is the RT texture, you click on the thing, and then it's projecting onto that thing. So there's a bit of it's a bit of work to do what you're asking. There's no easy way to do what you want. It really isn't. That's what I thought. You change the size of explosions? No. The dynamite's explosion is gonna be the same size every time. Yeah, I've been asked if I'm gonna do more. In the future, I will kind of handpick some really useful quality of life type add-ons that I think most people should just have around, and I will explain some of them and how they work. Yeah, so I think that about does it. I know, I was gonna say, I hope you learned a lot, but I know I've seen a lot of people out in the chat saying, oh, I never knew that. I've never played this, so I didn't know that. Or I've played this for 10 years. I didn't know that. So, glad to have taught something. Glad some of you learned something that you didn't know before. Or learned a new way of doing something that you already knew. You know. Good to give this knowledge out, instead of just having it locked in my whack-ass decaying brain. So, yeah, I will do another one in the future. It will take a little bit more planning because, again, I want to have a specific selection of tools to explain. It'll be a lot easier because it'll be Gmod 102 at that point. You guys will have this video to reference for a lot of basics. I won't have to be like, all right, you press Q to open your spawn menu and you hold C to do... No, you guys will know. You'll already know. But I'd encourage you, go ahead. If you got Gmod, open it up. Play around with it. Practice. Do what you want. Have some fun. Unfortunately, I did this tutorial like the day the Steam sale ended, so it's not on sale anymore, but that shit's on sale all the time. Don't spend $10 because you can definitely spend just $5 next time it's on sale. Or if you go fuck it, $10 is fine. Go ahead. I don't care. Gary gets the money, not me. Yeah. I guess that's the end of today's lesson. So, like I said, there will be another one in the future. I gotta plan it a little bit better. I gotta just plan it at all. And you just keep an eye out for it. Not 100% when the next stream in general is gonna be. It might be this weekend, depending on how I'm feeling, how things are going, etc., etc. I'm trying to get my shit back into the flow of regular streams. I might start just doing like small midday streams just for the sake of like being present. I want to be more present. I haven't been present in like months, and it sucks. I want to be present for you guys. So I'll try to be here more. It will probably be just me opening whatever game I'm playing at the time, streaming that, just chilling out, whatever. And then I'll make it very clear when I'm doing something more in-depth and interactive and cool. But trying to get my shit back in line. Let me roll the credits real quick. I have talked my voice to the point of wanting to collapse, so I will not be reading everybody's name. Your name's on the fucking screen. Your credit is where it's due. And I will get us ready for a raid. Let me go see who's up and about right. I actually have no fucking clue. There's a few people. Man, how about Hotter Dad? I haven't rated Hotter Dad. Hot Dad's Hotter Dad channel in a hot minute. Raid Hot Dad. Oh. Thank you for coming. I'm glad people have learned. I hope you found this helpful, etc., etc., so on and so forth. I look forward to giving more knowledge in the future. I will teach some more special case bits of knowledge, you know, little bites here and there, just things that you would never think to use, but I am like, I know how to do this and it only ever works for me, but I bet people would like to know. So that'll be the next one, whatever that is. Y'all have a good night. I need like a tea or something. Bye-bye. Have a good night.